I'm sure you all are dying to know what this second Invincible video will be about. The last one I talked about all the episodes currently out as of recording. So what will this one be about? Well, Twitter's being Twitter again, and they're after Amber again. So even though I've already did one earlier called the Lois Lane situation or the Lois Lane problem, I feel like I'm gonna have to do this one to go ahead and cut it out. And we're gonna talk about the Amber problem or the Amber situation and why people dislike her and why I feel like it makes no sense to me. So in season 1, this was like the unattainable girl from Mark, the girl he thought had no interest in him. She ended up saving him from the bully, yada yada yada. They ended up getting together, and you could say their relationship after that was kind of tumultuous. I think that's a word. I'm pretty sure that's a word. Whereas you kind of knew where it was going because they do the whole, we gotta trust each other, no lies, please, please, no lies. And the first date he had with her was a steady date where he ends up leaving to go on a mission, and she ends up being there by herself for the longest. And this proceeds to happen date after date after date. And every time she asks Mark where he was or where he was trying to do, he ends up having to come up with some sort of a lie because he's trying to keep this superhero identity. And that's like the first flaw within their relationship, was that he keeps lying to her about where he's at and what he's doing. And if you've seen the Lois Lane video, you know at this point I'm going to be talking about why that's a bad thing and why that's a good thing. So I feel like it's kind of a bad thing for her to be upset over Mark for doing these types of things, because this is a world where superheroes are normal. Like, this isn't like our world where superheroes aren't real. Like, you're not gonna go out and date a superhero instantaneously. If somebody keeps lying to you about where they're at, obviously they're probably doing something kind of shady, kind of bad, maybe they're cheating. But that's not necessarily the case within here, where superheroes are more normal. Superheroes have identities, they go to our schools and stuff within this world. So her being upset towards Mark for these types of stuff, it's just kind of like not cool, especially when the whole point of having a secret identity is so that you keep your loved ones safe and you keep yourself separated from like your person. Like, the superhero and social life are two different things, and most times a superhero has a hard time balancing the two. That's what the whole Spider-Man game is about. Peter's trying to balance his social life and his superhero life, and he's failing at it. And Amber allows it to fail by continuously getting upset with Mark and having to force him to lie again and again, to the point where he feels like, well, okay, I don't want this relationship to be over, so I guess I'm gonna have to outright just say something about this. So he ends up trying to come clean and ends up trying to tell her, hey, I'm invincible. Please, like, you know, I do this stuff. Things are just gonna be like this. And she's like, I know you're invincible. That wasn't a problem. You being there wasn't a problem. And I feel like this is where a lot of Twitter people don't understand the situation, because the problem was never, quote unquote, her having a problem with him saving lives or him risking his life instead of being there for her. The problem was lying. That was the entire situation. And I understand if you don't like the trope itself, that's completely fine. The trope is kind of played out. It's a little cliche, but lying is definitely a thing that relationships should not be built upon. I think we all can agree upon that. And it's kind of understandable why Amber has a slight, you know, I don't like lying towards stuff like that. No, I did skip over the one bad part that Amber did when they broke up for like one night in college. She ended up talking to this guy and ended up getting invited to this college party. You know, that's one bad flaw that Amber did. I'm not gonna defend that. Not gonna defend that from her, not one bit. But people are perturbed because there was this one scene in episode 3 where Mark's about to go off to a different planet for like a month or so. Who knows how long he's gonna be gone? And he says, all right, let me tell Amber first before any of these crazy stuff happen. So he calls Amber to tell her, and he's like, babe, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go off and do some superhero stuff. I hope you understand. And she's like, dude, never apologize for saving lives. And a lot of people on the internet has ran through with that, like, oh my god, she doesn't have a problem with that now? They retconned her character. They're trying to fix her character, but she's still bad. OMG. she says she doesn't have a problem saving lives, but she definitely had a problem with it in season 1. Like, no, that wasn't the case. That definitely was not the case. This, my friend, is a little bit thing known as character growth. Yeah, I'm saying Amber growing a little bit. Even if she hasn't grown a little bit, it's called being sympathetic, because Mark almost fucking died to his father, and he's still grieving because of it. He's trying to get back into the superhero game, and it's still like things that are haunting him. He's still weighed down by the thoughts of what his father tried to do and did do to him and all the people in Chicago that are still trying to recover. So of course, I would hope you would understand, as a spouse towards somebody, if they are grieving, you should give them time to grieve. If they are a superhero, you should let them be a superhero. You knew what you signed up for when you got with them, when you re-got with them. So obviously she's gonna be like, yeah babe, go save lives. That shouldn't be an issue. It's such a non-issue. I don't understand why people have a problem with it. I think it's just people being people. People like being mad about stuff over the internet for no reason, and it's always fun. And I understand why people don't like the trope. Don't get me wrong, I completely understand why people don't like the trope. It's played out, yada yada yada. But at the same time, I like a little bit of relationship drama. I like a little bit of a drama in my show. What can I say? I'm a little bit of sucker for the drama, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem with it. There's nothing wrong with Amber. Amber's growing, just like Mark, just like what's his friend name? Todd. Just like all of us. Everybody's growing, everybody's changing for the better, and it's fine. It's such a non-issue that I just wanted to make this video, because the video's gonna do well, because the Lois Lane problem was, you know, kind of the start of, you know, what this channel has been doing so far. And I kind of wanted to do one about Amber because, you know, here's an opportunity. Invincible's out now. Invincible's releasing. You know, I just thought it'd be fun. And it is fun to talk about the Amber situation. And I hope you enjoyed it. What are your opinions on Amber? Leave it in the comments down below. I know most of them are probably going to be negative, so I'm just curious. What are your opinions? Let me know. Let's have a little discussion, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. Okay, goodbye.